Best-selling book in American history, the best-selling book in the world for 4 years, number one on the New York Times for 4 years, and the most translated book in the world except for the Bible. Now, friend, when you write the most best-selling book in the world, it's tens of millions of dollars starts coming in. And that scared me spitless. I thought, I'm a pastor. Of the largest churches in America, I think we're the only one not on television because I didn't want to be a celebrity. And I go, I don't need this money. I mean, I got a good pair of jeans and a t-shirt. I don't really need a whole lot. My needs are pretty simple. When I wrote that book and God put stuff in my hand, and I started thinking, it scared me to death. You know, if I'd wanted to, I could have gone out and bought an island and had people serve me iced tea with little umbrellas in it the rest of my life. But when you write a book and the first sentence of the book is, it's not about you, then you kind of figure the money's not for you. And I don't have time to go into this, but over the next year, I had to deal with what I call learning the stewardship of influence and the stewardship of affluence. What do I do with the money, and what do I do with the fame? God, I didn't ask for this, and you put it in my hand. What in the world do you want to do with it? Well, the easy part was actually what to do with the money. I found two passages of scripture, 1 Corinthians 9 on what to do with money, and Psalm 72 on what to do with the influence. So Kay and I made 5 decisions. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 9, those who teach the gospel should make a living by the gospel. In other words, it's okay to pay your pastor. It's okay to pay a priest. It's okay to make money and make a living in serving God full time. But Paul says, I will not accept that fact, that right, because I want the privilege of serving the gospel for free, so I'm a slave to no man. When I read that, I thought, that's what I want to do. So we made 5 decisions almost 10 years ago. Number one, we said, we're not going to spend any of this money on us. We're not going to change our lifestyle one bit. I still live in the same house I've lived in for 20 years. I drive an 11-year-old Ford truck. I bought this watch at Walmart for $17. It gets the same amount of time as your Rolex. Okay? I don't buy stuff for bling. I buy it because I'm late. So we didn't change our lifestyle one bit. Second thing, I stopped taking a salary from the church 10 years ago. Third, I added up all the church had paid me in 25 years and I gave it all back. And I did that because I didn't want anybody to think that I do what I do for money. I love Jesus Christ. And I owe him my whole life. You want to know how much you matter to God? Look at the cross. Arms outstretched, nail-pierced hands. This is how much I love you, God says. I love you so much it hurts. I love you so much I'm bleeding to death. I love you so much I'd rather die than live without you. No man will ever love you like Jesus Christ. No woman will ever love you like Jesus Christ. We started 3 foundations, one called Acts of Mercy to help people infected with HIV/AIDS. We've been able to give away tens of millions of dollars around the world in that. We started another called Equipping Leaders, which I train leaders around the world, and I've never charged a penny for it. We pay our own way. I don't accept honorariums for speaking in places like this. Never have for 10 years. And we started one called the Peace Plan. The last thing we did is we became reverse tithers. When Kay and I got married 36 years ago, we decided if anybody gets paid, God gets paid first. I may be in debt to other people, but I am not going to be in debt to God. You better settle this issue in your life if you want to be successful in your business. The first 10% goes to God. So I said, okay, God says right off the bat, it's not a gift. It belongs to him. If you're using it yourself, you're robbing God. So we started giving God 10%. At the end of our first year of marriage, we raised our tithe to 11%. At the end of our second year of marriage, we raised our tithe to 12%. At the end of our third year of marriage, we raised our tithe to 13%. Now, we weren't doing this to show off because I didn't tell anybody about it for nearly 30 years. I just wanted to be more generous. Every time I give, it breaks the grip of materialism in my life. Every time I give, my heart grows bigger. Every time I give, I become more like Jesus. God so loved the world that he gave. You want to be like God, you got to learn to be giver.